An empty, starry night sees a young man slowly walking towards a bus stop right in the middle of nowhere. The guy behind the counter is watching a news broadcast talking about a massive sinkhole opening in downtown Gotham. You see this, man? Sorry. He didn't expect to see a kid out this late. Probably didn't expect to see anyone, really. The young man's eyes look empty as he points up at the screen asking for a ticket to Gotham. The bus stop worker's skeptical about sending what could be an unaccompanied minor to a city that's just gone through a natural disaster. Still, the boy Javon insists. He's determined. There's a screech from above them, a dark shape bolting across the light. The kid, surprised and nervously, admits that he's never seen a bat before. The worker laughs even as he hands over Javon's ticket. The kid's gonna see plenty where he's going. Over in Gotham, a terrified woman is begging Two-Face not to kill her. Unfortunately, the gangster's trademark coin has landed on tails. Not a great sign for the terrified lady.
This isn't good. You know the deal. Hand me the reins, chump.
That's not what I'm saying.
Can't you hear? There's someone else in here with us.
The glass breaks as Batman crashes into the room. Two-Face's goons gasp. But the Dark Knight's worried. This was too easy. Everything Harvey did was predictable. Kidnap half of a set of celebrity twins hidden in a half-finished building. He couldn't have been more obvious. The first thug in a suit comes at Batman fist balled, ready to at least try to defend the boss. Batman takes him down with a quick jab to the jaw, forcing him to spit blood. Harvey Dent's clutching his head in his hands. Something is wrong. Two-Face's gang are as split as he is. Green Suit and his friends want to get Two-Face out of there. They've got to protect the boss, right? Denim Punk's crew.
We ain't goddamn bouncing, you goddamn cowards. We can take him.
Yeah, Batman. You can totally take down Batman, no-name random thug dude. Sure. He runs at the Dark Knight, fist balled, ready to take a swing. One twirl of Batman's cape is enough to knock the punk off balance. One quick punch to the head brings the thug down while his friends watch, trying to decide if they'll join the fight.
Sorry, pal, but you're my prop now. Let's show these scumbags what I'll do to them. I'll break your bones so that I won't have to break so many of theirs.
Before he can make good on that, Two-Face yells at Batman to stop. He's standing there, no gun, no threat. It's Harvey Dent in control, not his violent alter ego. He let that part of himself do this as a way to lure Batman out. He looks small as he says 4 simple words Bruce couldn't have expected. I need your help. Meanwhile, in an actually intact skyscraper, climate expert Mr. Reeves is giving a presentation to a group of Gotham elites. He's got the full story on that sinkhole the bus driver saw on the news. Reeves thinks the city should ask for external help, but the board rejects that idea, at least for now. Instead, they go into what caused the damage. Apparently, there's a subterranean river beneath Gotham, the Princess. Something's flooded it. At this point, a third of Gotham's most rundown district, the Narrows, has collapsed. That's actually enough for the meeting's chairman. Now they know what caused this, the meeting is over. Reeves is bewildered that these guys are just going to let the disaster get worse. He tries to insist that he has to speak with someone higher up. Someone needs to fix this. With a sigh, the chairman agrees, leading him to an elevator. The chairman's butler, Pip, is waiting for him, identifying our guy as Lord Strigidy and claiming everything's ready. Mr. Reeves is very confused by this.
I believe I told you to be quiet, Mr. Reeves. You are under the impression that you matter. We have been here for over 400 years. You, Mr. Reeves, are but a blink of an eye. We are quite capable of protecting Gotham as we see fit. Your job was simply to inform, but now all I hear is the squeaking of a mouse, and owls eat mice.
Now wearing the mask of the Court of Owls, Strigidy orders Pip to put the dead Mr. Reeves back in his office. This was clearly a drug overdose. Stress of working in Gotham. Pip can send some flowers to the wife. Strigidy's got work to do. He's down here checking up on the work of a low-level owl, Brother Titanity. Ty wasn't expecting his boss down here, but Strigy wants answers. Turns out that big swell from the River Princess has had an effect on the Owl Sanctuary. The walls of this very subterranean chamber collapsed, leading to a breach. Strigidy wants to know if their response team has managed to make sure that the door is still secure, but then he does a double take. On the ground in front of them, outside the final chamber, is the response team. Bloody, mangled, and very, very dead.
That light. Did the creature escape? Has it killed our sentries? It did not, brother. I did.
The two owls wrestle for the knife right in the shadow of the unearthly door. Titanity insists that he couldn't let the response team close the door. He and his part of the court want the power on the other side. Strigety calls him a fool. They're supposed to protect Gotham, and there's a creature behind that now very open door. Ty calls that idea a myth, something the higher-up owls like Strigety believe without thinking. Unfortunately for Ty, being a high-ranking owl is what's gonna win Strigety this fight. Strigety's Talon, a super-powered bodyguard, stabs Titanity from behind, running him through the chest with a claw blade. The Talon tries to escort his master out of the chamber. Strigety, to his credit, points out that closing the door has to take priority. The Talon agrees, hedging in to do just that as Strigety makes his exit alone. The Talon takes a small disc from his belt. He doesn't have time to seal the door with finesse. It's going to have to be a bomb. He holds his finger against the red button, arming the device. When a batarang flies out of the darkness towards his arm, Talon pulls his arm back, reeling in pain from the weapon that's now stuck in his palm. The bomb has not been armed. From the far side of the door, a familiar-looking silhouette has emerged.
Finally, Athena, bless me.
Desperate, the Talon sprints across the room, reaching for the bomb a second time.
Retreat, vile beast! You will go no further!
His hand is less than an inch from the explosive, but then there's a spray of red, a terrible slicing sound. This time, the Talon has lost an arm. He clasps it, groaning. Only his Electrum-powered abilities have kept him on his feet. Looking down, though, he sees that he succeeded. His severed arm had somehow managed to grab the bomb and armed it before falling to the ground. After just a second, it explodes, knocking both Owl and the Bat to the ground. A green smoke fills the room, obscuring everything. The Talon slowly picks himself back up. There's no sign of the creature. It's loose in the streets of Gotham. And that's not a fun place to be. Javon, that kid from the bus stop, has reached the city now. Downtown Gotham's decently lit for once, a blinding blue, but it's still overwhelming for a kid. A streetwalker calls out to him, offering Jev a chance to be her Robin. A pusher is following him, offering a variety of chemical joys. Even Venom, the superpowered steroid, is something you can just get on the street. Eventually, the pusher stops listing his wares, just asking Javon what he's after. A cup. I'm after a cup. The dealer backs off after hearing that, leaving Javon alone in the rain, staring at GCPD headquarters. Eventually, he sees a group of 4 men leaving in plain clothes. You'd mistake them for civilians if you didn't spot the badge on one guy's belt. And Javon thinks back. It was normal. He was on the phone with his dad. The old man was happy, taking a shortcut to reach his train back to Smallville. Then he saw something weird. Some weirdos in animal masks. But there's already a cop there. Dad thought everything would be okay. Javon heard the cop yelling at his dad over the phone. Dad tried to talk the cop down, but it wasn't enough. He heard the shots, and he saw the headline the next day, complete with the guy's face. Hero cop kills drug dealer. And now Javon's come to Gotham with a gun. This isn't going to end well. Javon looks up and over to the side. The hero cop, Officer McKean, has noticed him. Some kid checking him out isn't great. He tells his boys to have a word with their little guest. Meanwhile, Batman's on the road driving through the night. Arkham Asylum, founded in November 1921 by Amadeus Arkham. Home to Gotham's criminally insane. I hate it here. Years ago, I was forced to spend a night in it, in my worst moments. I wonder if perhaps I never left. There's no one to greet Batman at the front door. He walks the asylum's corridors alone. Even for the Dark Knight, this place is intimidating. It feels like he's only a small step from the other side of the bars. Hello, Alice. Back again, back again. Welcome back down the rabbit hole. Maybe you'll stay this time, away from all that worry. This is the real world, Alice. The one out there is just make-believe. Batman doesn't answer back. He's lost in his own mind, his memories, but soon enough he finds a familiar face, Dr. Ruth Adams, the asylum's administrator. She's got the Harveys ready for him. Back in the Batcave, Barbara Gordon walks in. Alfred Pennyworth is sitting alone at a desk. Barbara's surprised that Batman's already out on patrol. Alfred takes a second to offer her some scrambled eggs before confirming yes. Bruce was out before breakfast today. The two share a joke about Batman and the criminals never getting rest before Barbara turns the conversation around to Alfred. Is he getting decent rest? Alfred tries to claim both he and Bruce are fine. He's a bad liar. Barbara doesn't buy it for a second. She looks over the trophy case with everyone's old costumes still fresh and bright. With his crime-fighting family having such a long history, they've all got trauma to keep them up at night. Barbara snarks that maybe Batman would never have gotten started if only he had a chance to just talk about his feelings. Alfred can't find the humor in that. It hit too deeply. In Arkham, Bruce and Dr. Adams are heading towards Harvey's cell. The therapist grimly notes that Dent's identities are divided, even more than usual. Worried, Batman asks Adams if she could help Harvey. Unfortunately, the old psychologist is skeptical. This isn't a hospital. It's a haunted house full of people who'd rather kill than heal. She hasn't given up, but between the lack of funding and the terrible atmosphere, the best they can do is just try to stop the patients from getting worse. And even then, Arkham Asylum sometimes feels like it makes things worse. In Harvey's case, Adams thinks the structure of his dissociative identity disorder is breaking down. The system's one alter, the two sides of the coin, aren't enough. And that's led to someone else showing up inside Harvey, someone new. When Batman steps into the cell, though, Two-Face seems himself. His better half cracks a joke about how this wasn't what he meant by asking for help. Even the more violent Harvey is snarky, claiming he enjoys being back in Arkham. Batman doesn't have time for small talk. He wants to know what's going on with this third person inside of Two-Face's head. Harvey seems like he's all there. He's aware of his own condition and doesn't agree with Dr. Adams' idea that this is just a new alter. This isn't an internal voice, it's a signal. A signal? From where? Somewhere worse than here. Before he can think through what this means, there's a light from outside Harvey's cell window. The bat signal's been lit. Harvey's evil side is happy to let Batman go get back to work, but his normal self isn't done. This other person's signal voice thing, it's been stronger ever since they made it back to Arkham. It's saying something's come to Gotham. Something truly evil. Back downtown, Javon is still lurking in an alleyway watching the GCPD headquarters. Now though, a hand grabs him and pulls him back out of sight of the street. Three thugs are looming over him wearing animal masks, a fox, a shark, and a vulture. These have to be the dealers that worked with McKean, the ones that were there when Javon's dad died. He asks why they're wearing masks. The thugs just claim it's a Gotham thing, a way to make this fun. The vulture turns that around, asking Javon why he's after Officer McKean. The young man doesn't deny his grudge. The cop killed his dad. Shark says it's just how things go. Bad men get shot by cops. This just gets Javon mad though. His dad was just a piano player. McKean killed him, then went on TV and lied. The thugs just mock the boy. They don't care about this tragedy. They just laugh in his face, the sound filling the alleyway. Like this, they all look like monsters. Javon, at the end of his rope, pulls his gun. He's ready to kill McKean for what he did, and these three can join him if they get in his way. The thugs are suddenly very serious. Fox and Shark quietly try to talk the boy down. Vulture, the guy most out of the line of fire, coldly orders Javon to give them the gun. The kid isn't letting go, yelling at the three to get back, but his grip is trembling. Shark, now confident, points out that he's just a boy. He's not going to kill them, right? Javon doesn't give up. His eyes glint. He's here for his dad. He is vengeance. Fox isn't going to risk it anymore. He lunges at the kid, ready to rip his gun away. But before he can, something pulls Fox up into the air. Vulture and Shark glance around the alleyway. They've forgotten the kid with a gun. They know what a shadowy figure picking off criminals in Gotham means. Vulture sprints away, not willing to mess with Batman. Shark yells at him to come back, but a second later, their mysterious assailant pulls the second animal mask goon out of sight. Shark swears. This is going poorly. Still, he's got one trick left, threatening a small kid. He's got his own gun, and Batman won't hit him if there's a chance it'll get Javon shot, right? Before he can even point the pistol at the kid's head, though, there's a rush of motion and red. Shark's gun fires, trying to drive the attacker off, but it's way too late. Javon just stands there, blood dripping down around him. He almost falls to the floor, shocked. Worry not. Javon slowly turns around. A thing is kneeling in the alleyway beside him. It mostly looks like Batman, but something is off. His costume seems to shift and warp as you look at it. His mouth is gone, replaced with grasping blood-stained tentacles. He's still holding onto Shark's head, ready to, what, eat it? He can't hurt you now, child. Beneath the streets, the unfortunate Talon has come back to half consciousness. The world is dark with only a glint of light to make it clear he's not dead. But he can hear Strigidy briefing the Court of Owls. That creature has escaped. The Owls are ready to rally, wanting to protect Gotham. The assembled courtiers start to cheer.
We are Gotham! We are Gotham!
Talon's beginning to get his vision back. He can make out the blurry masked figures in front of him. The court wants to send Talon in immediately to try and deal with the creature, but Strigidy points out his Talon is injured. He won't be able to send his main agent in just yet, and they can't just pull in another Talon right now.
You see, we are not gathered here in our full numbers, trusted brothers and sisters. There is something rotten within the court. It was one of our own who opened the door and released the creature.
Since Brother Titanidy was the one who made this mess and claimed his clan were backing him up, the Owls can't rely on the Titanidy Talon. They will have to use Strigides. The two medically injured owls start taking a closer look at the fallen bodyguard. They'll fix him up within the hour, but even a Talon might not be enough. He went down the first time, he hesitated due to fear. The owls will need other measures to make sure they successfully take down this monster. Strigides consulted with the international branches of the Court of Owls, the full parliament. They agree with him. An alliance is the best way through this.
With whom, Lord Strigidy? We shall go to Gotham's Batman, a bat to hunt a bat. But we are enemies. If he refuses, he will not. We will leave him no choice.
He will be a tool, just like the Talon laying on the bed, getting his arm put back together. Batman will join the Court of Owls whether he likes it or not. It's late in the Wayne Manor, and Alfred is tending the fire beneath a portrait of Thomas and Martha. He looks up at his old, long-dead friends.
Forgive me. I should have been stronger. I should have protected him. But God forgive me. I wanted vengeance too.
Back at Arkham, Harvey Dent hears that voice again. It's nagging at him to wake up before finally yelling at him. Sitting bolt upright, Harvey sees this mysterious other self. He's there in the room, an incorporeal spirit, mostly blue but with a red mouth and a tide of energy rising from his suit pocket.
I'm you, you fool. I'm both of you, just a different angle. You have to get a message to Batman. You have to tell him. Batman below has the boy, and he means to make a Robin out of him.
This isn't gonna be easy, but Batman's faced monsters like this before.